Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to another Fish and Chat. I will let everyone know now, if you're here for the Twitch game, the little mini game, the command this week is !line, as in a fishing line. For those people that like doing the mini game. Hello, everybody. I see Lizzie Babs, Gildark, Johnny One-Ups, as always. Adrian, hello as well. Nino, good to see you. We are fishing in Desolace. If you are curious whereabouts exactly, we're fishing right off the coast of the ruins of Athel Rathor. It's northwestern at Desolace. I don't think we've ever fished here exactly. I think we've done some fishing in southern part of Desolace, but thought we'd try out here today. Nino, you can show up on whatever you'd like. Am I PvP enabled? No. This is Nordinar. So even though I'm in a contested zone, I am not flagged. There were a couple other people that have come by. I think they were just questing. Desolace is a nice little zone. It's not the prettiest zone, I'll tell you that much, but it is here. This is also where Telebimvrogreg is, I believe. I think whenever I'm over there, I'm grinding on centaurs. I want some of those centaur rep rewards. Best looking zone to fish is Telebim. Is that right, Joy Daz? Is that right? I did do a fair amount of fishing, even though I'm not max level over there. The fishing I did was mostly to help out the war effort. I never got to help fish for a war effort before, so I wanted to partake in what little I could. I got up a little early today. In real life, my family was doing some sort of family picture thing. So I had to wear decent clothing, wake up earlier than I wanted to, and go sit on some hay bales because it's becoming autumn. And in New England, that is a special time. The leaves will start changing, everything gets cool. Spooky season starts up, which, if you live in New England as compared to other places in the U.S., New England in general is a nice spooky area. There's graveyards everywhere because there weren't town planners when most of the cities were founded. And, of course, the prolific author Stephen King is from New England. Piotr, I feel sorry for you. They're talking about losing a hardcore 49 because they walked into Camp Mojache, which is a death sentence if you're Alliance. I'm sorry. If it makes it any better, this week one of my longtime guildmates, Tat, had a level 58 paladin die because he went AFK to go respond to a message and was killed by a mob in Winterspring. Shoutouts to all of those who have died in their hardcore quest. You never know what's going to get you until it gets you. Hello, Manalisa. Good to see you always phasing into reality next to me. Sugar bushes exist in New England? I'm not sure exactly. When you say that, it doesn't bring anything to mind. I know of sweet fern, which acts as a nice natural insect repellent. I'm not one of the devs, guys. I wouldn't know when we're getting the patch. I might know a little earlier than you guys might because I work with the team for my own news media. But I know more about class changes than probably most people because I was on the class council. But no. And while we're on the topic of achievements like hardcore, getting the immortal title, which Frogreg does have, I was made aware by friend of the stream, Shen, of a character. Don't think I have their name off the top of my head. They were tagged though. Someone made an image of their achievement. Evidently, they were war mode, exhaustion mode, vagrant mode, and hardcore, and got to 60. That meant they are flagged the entire time, could not wear anything better than white quality gear, and only had one life. I think exhaustion mode also means you get no rested XP bonus. That's impressive. Yeah, going back to the sugar bush comment, I mean, Ontario's further inland because I'm in New England. North of me is Quebec, not Ontario. So maybe it's more regional to where you are. There is a Sugar Bush Mountain, or Sugar Bush. It's like a ski resort somewhere up north, but that's the only way I know of Sugar Bush as a ski place. Would I like to see Illidan in Broken Isles and Arthas in the Frozen Throne in Vanilla Plus? I guess it would really depend on how they do Illidan. Illidan is definitely Warcraft 3 lore friendly. That's no surprise to anyone. And Arthas is on the Frozen Throne. But there's a lot of steps to get there. Okay, so it is in Quebec. Yeah, I don't quite know what that is or what it's used for. But then again, I don't know what they get up to in Quebec. If anyone was watching the pre-stream stuff, I had an image up. There's going to be some interesting information coming out. It's not... I don't think a lot of it was terribly new, but the podcast that I am a guest on, Under the Shell, which is made by Dan from the radio, is it should be up right now. And if anyone doesn't mind listening to some YouTube audio maybe while they play or they have time off, I would suggest everyone listen to it because the Turtle WoW developer Voji is actually the guest on that one. And there were some interesting insights while we were recording that I was able to get permission to have be public that I don't think the public knew about. And in general, I think anytime you can humanize the developers, it is a good thing. They're very proud of the work that they've done. And obviously the patch isn't out yet, so clearly there must be more work yet to be done. But I think most of the content pieces are done. I think it's a matter of polish at this point. But hard to qualify exactly where they're at. And trying to get a developer's attention and ask them how things are going, how's progress, it's pretty tough when they have been locked in crunch mode. I would guess probably for the last month. If anyone's done development, you might be aware of what crunch mode is. it's not good. It's where you have a bunch of work you have to get done to try to meet some arbitrary or looming deadline. Yes, Nino, I do normally keep nameplates off. It's just generally how I like to play. I don't like seeing my name all the time, and I generally don't like seeing other people unless I'm selecting them. When I mouse over them, I can see. Like, that's Manalisa, right? And when I mouse over my bobber, you can see Fishing Bobber. But I am indeed an Immortal and a Storm Wielder because I have a Thunder Fury. As a rogue, very normal. Big fan of City Skylines, but you know, crunch mode as a phenomenon within the industry is not always the best thing. A Viscag mage. I would love to know how you got a Viscag. Like, was there not a warrior or a rogue in the raid that wanted it? I guess that's probably how it happened, but... Well, also, City Skylines, I know they have more of a modern... Oh, sorry, I just realized it's raining out. I'm like, what is that noise? It's raining outside. City Skylines 2 has, like, modern architecture, so they can push out stuff more readily. I like City Skylines 1. I know they came out with City Skylines 2. I haven't had a chance to play it. My video game stuff I plan to be doing this weekend doesn't involve video games much. It's going to involve helping Murag rebuild her computer in a vain attempt so we can play Space Marine 2 together. I played a little bit of it on stream this week because I wanted to show it off, and I like Warhammer 40k stuff. Don't like Games Workshop a lot, but I like their universe, so I think my sound effects are a little high. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. I believe in, yeah, Nino, like, as far as the Turtle team goes and their coding endeavors, usually what I can readily point to is they can try to fix one thing and then it breaks another thing. And it's like playing whack-a-mole as a developer, I think, for them. And they have a lot of changes coming up, so I can only imagine all the new emergent things that are going to happen when they try to fix something or change something. Over here, Manalisa's convinced they've gutted mages, which I don't know about that. As someone who did actively participate on the Mage Council, I don't think that's true, but you're welcome to think what you'd like. Certainly Arcane's going to be interesting. What little they've teased of it and what I've seen, I would think that Arcane might be like viable and an end game rating. I don't know if it would necessarily beat Fire, but I think it will have enough strength to sort of stand on its own, which will be a nice change of pace, I think, for the mage community. Well, okay. I see Manalisa also saying they dumpstered Master of Elements. They didn't dumpster it. They fixed its super broken properties. That's not dumpstering. If you think that should proc on every crit, you are very optimistic, is all I'm going to say. I know it was good. Everyone who knew it was broken enjoyed it. The team, when looking at balancing mages, said, like, how are mages performing in raid? And then they looked at the AoE and said, huh, they don't seem to have any issues with mana. I wonder why that is. And then they looked at Master of Elements and said, hey, how long has this been going on? And then they found out it's been existing since the beginning of the server, and they said, huh, that doesn't seem right. And they were correct. For anyone who doesn't know, Master of Elements is a talent in the Fire Mage tree, which says every time that a mage crits with a fire or frost spell, they will get refunded 30% of the spell's cost. If you do something like a flame strike, but you get multiple crits, in the old way, you could be mana positive, which is definitely not what's intended by that talent. Well, I mean, part of this is me being a little bitter as raiding as an elemental shaman and just watching everyone just be way better with mana. like, what do you guys really know of mana issues? Mages have Evocate, Mage Armor gives them amazing mana refunds. They actually have Spirit on their gear. They also have an inbuilt mana gem system, but that also usually shares a cooldown with T, but still, it's also really good. And hearing mages, don't get me wrong, I also have a mage. I was also negatively affected by it, but I was much more like, yeah, that's fair. That's also what was in vanilla too, so. So you can definitely crit on multiple targets, but getting the full mana refund, so obviously it stages up, right? So unless you have something going on like a shatter combo, which is kind of more for farming, but if you're in raid and there's something like a huge cleave group going on, you have like 10 or 15 mobs, you do a flame strike and you somehow gain mana from that, that doesn't really seem balanced. Well, Lizzie Babs, that's also another talent, but that's built for other farms. So the one Lizzie Babs is mentioning here is, I think it's called Magical Attunement, and it says if you resist a spell, you get a percentage of mana back. But they usually get that mana back by going to specific farms where they outlevel the mobs, so the chance that they resist is way more likely. They're not doing that in raid. Or they could have the talent in raid, but they're not ordinarily getting a lot of mana back from it. So I think it's much better specifically for something like a Moradon farm, where you have a good amount of little caster mobs shooting stuff at you, helping you keep your mana up. Well, exactly, Eric. All it would take to get a mana positive is 4 crits, which with stuff for fire mages, when you have the talent like Combustion, you can stagger it so you all but guarantee that you're going to get a crit on almost everything. So you could be low mana, have a couple stacks of Combustion on, drop a Flame Strike on like 6 or 7 mobs, and you'll like have a full mana bar. It was kind of nuts. So I think the only thing that the team really failed in with that was specifically not communicating that it happened twice. They first failed because it got applied midweek with no patch note. And then when they had their normal server reset and did the changelog, they didn't note it initially. I literally had to go into, it might have been theory crafting, and been like, hey, you guys didn't put the thing in there about Master of Elements. And then I think Turt Reynolds is like, I'm gonna throw someone in the river now. Because someone who wrote it, I guess, forgot to put it in again. So communication-wise, I think it was a fail by the Turtle team. And, having this conversation like we're having right now, I think is much better for the community. And it shouldn't be me, it should be people from the team saying it, but that's a different issue. But something that massively changes how players interact with their character I don't think they always have to necessarily fully justify something, but they should at least give a little something extra. Say like, hey, we noticed this was sort of out of whack. We wanted to fix that, So yeah, so that is true. Lizzie Babs is mentioning how the devs have said that they have said that they will not mention some exploits because they like having the teams, because it's generally raid stuff, right? But they like the people that are using the exploit to just find the surprise on their own, which I think it's a little different than the Master of Elements thing, because Master of Elements has been around since the server started, that particular interaction. So because of that, I think that's different than like a month or so of a team figuring out an exploit in Naxxramas, right? So yeah, I agree that they don't have to say when they're going to fix an exploit, but I think all players sort of understand there's a spectrum of exploits. There's ones that are kind of cheese, kind of permissible, maybe might be very niche, maybe don't really have that big of an effect, or might have been something that the team has maybe known about and just hasn't acted on for a while, but still are technically exploits. And then there's exploits that are like, give a gigantic advantage, something that's clearly very unfair, and is something very unintended that the devs had no idea about. So somewhere between there, every kind of exploit falls with one of those categories, right? So I definitely think if you're a Nax and you completely obviate the mechanics of a boss because you figured out some sort of strategy that wasn't intended, there's like something on that end. And then if there's something a bit more harmless or a bit more funny or stupid, it might also be, on the other end. So that's kind of how I see exploits. I do agree though that the Turtle team doesn't have to immediately let the community know when they're fixing an exploit, but I think eventually they should, especially if it affects how players interact with the game. Here's kind of one that I don't think a lot of players on the server even think about anymore. But if you're coming here from Classic or somehow Vanilla, and you're playing and you're in BWL, right, and you're about to fight Nefarian, and you notice only the tanks have on their Onyxia scale cloak, and you're kind of looking around going, hey guys, are we going to put on our Onyxia scale cloak? And then someone tells you, hey, Nefarian's breath as part of this encounter doesn't work. Only tanks have to worry about it. Now, I think everybody knows that Nefarian's supposed to hit the entire raid with Shadow Flame, but he doesn't on this server. Is that an exploit? I would probably say the team probably wants to put in that because that is true to vanilla, but they haven't. Now imagine they make that change and don't let anybody know, and people just go into BWL and get wrecked after literal years of not having to deal with Shadow Flame. You can see how the community could get upset, and that's why you have stuff like a changelog to inform people. And you can see why communication's always important when you're making change to your game. Imagine potions stay on after death. There's a couple, I suppose, like maybe Dream Tonic. Dream Tonic's weird because it's 20 minutes, right? There's a couple that I might see. Generally, potions are more short-lived. Oh, my neighbor's dog got out. Nope, and he jumped into a puddle immediately. I feel sorry for my neighbor. Let's see, how we been doing here? We've been getting a lot of mithril head trout. I've got no valuable fish. Dang, that hurts. Not even like a firefin. Not a blackmouth, nothing. Sometimes fishing be like that, you know? And let's see, we have Valetha here. Hello. Cast Blast. Hello. I've also only gotten vendor trash. Really? Well, I mean, technically, if you're really trying to min-max everything, you could cook these up to get slightly more copper when you sell them. Panthers 0363 says, I always figured the Nefarian breath thing was on Turtle was intentional. I don't think the team has ever said whether it's intentional or not. Oh, okay, Nino. Yeah, I don't know myself either. I think everyone worries about the day when they said, okay, well, you know, we can fix this now. The thing is boss fights that have certain scripted events, like Shadowflame, fixing scripted events is very difficult within the client. So, who knows why it isn't working. Yeah, and that's another one too, and I'm not sure. I think most people that are coming from Classic and have encountered Sapphiron have been like, hey, you know, what are we shooting for frost resist? And most people, like, there's a lot of people that have played here that played on Classic, right? And they'll be like, oh, you don't need as much here because the frost aura is very toned down. Now, remember, this is all well and good, but I know there's fights that are tougher on this server for similar scripting reasons. And you might not think about it, so maybe it comes out as like a wash. But the Sapphiron aura is another very, very obvious one that if they put it to vanilla values, then it might actually be a much tougher fight. I still, as a DPS, I still use a piece of frost resist, but that's just me. You don't actually need it necessarily. Also, I normally raid on a Shaman, so I already have frost resist totem too. So, but it does help. I mean, Panther, you're not wrong. That the game does call out for a lot of frost resist, and you don't need a lot of it in the game, right? I mean, you might want a couple pieces for KT, because his big raid-wide frost bolt volley, it's very useful if you can resist some of that. And if you get hit by Frost Tomb, I think it is, or Frost Blast, the one that, like, if you're standing close to people, you'll get, like, you'll nuke everyone around you. Yeah, I think it's very important for melee to have a couple pieces, because melee is normally standing a lot closer to KT, and so they have to share space. So, you know, when, 5 or 6 people are hit all at once, and that's the best you can do, you want the healers to be able to save your life. So there, at least frost is useful, but I think for casters it's not as necessary. Healers wouldn't wear it anyway, is my general understanding, but yep, Panthers, that was actually my experience. Well, no, that wasn't my experience. I think I had one piece of frost resist, 1 or 2 pieces, when Vrograg first did it way back when. And, there's places where, since we're talking about exploits and raid mechanics not working as intended, I don't actually know if this actually worked. It might have actually worked back in vanilla, and maybe no one thought to try it. But if you're doing, was it Princess Huhuran? The one who does the AoE poison stuff. and you need a certain number of soakers to take up those stacks of it. One strategy that's commonly employed is everyone in raid will use their Barov Peasant Collar, and then when you are DPSing the boss, when you get about 30% right before enrage, you'll pop your Peasant Collar, and every single one of your little servants will absorb one of those poison volley stacks. So it allows the healers not to have to panic at the end while everyone's dying instantly. That I mean, if you look at it on paper, that's very much an exploit, right? Because that is definitely not what was intended. But there's also a world where that might have actually worked in vanilla and no one ever did it. I actually don't know. I'm sure someone knows, but... No, I'm not talking about the double food buff. Like, the foods that you can stack together aren't that game-breaking, really. And in general, the ones that I know of are, the spell damage food and Night Fin Snapper stacking, which really is helpful for Elemental, who needs every bit of mana they can get. So... Okay, so Panther said you did use it in Classic. I just wasn't aware that was the thing in Classic. But even with or without, like, just because something was available in Classic doesn't mean it necessarily is really what's intended, and that strategy isn't janky, because it is. You wish Dragon Breath Chili stacked with stamina buff? Yeah. Does anyone know if Dragon Breath Chili or Oil of Immolation has any spell coefficient with it? I'm curious, because I've always been curious if I should use some of that on my Elemental. Dragon Breath does, really. I've been considering it for periods of time where I do not have my food buff, because I usually want the food buff on for bosses, the spell damage food buff. But I've been thinking, because I have a good amount of Dragon Breath Chili, and I'm like, maybe I could throw that on for some AoE packs. Yes, there's lots of weird spell jank that's insanely good for prot pallies. One of my guild paladins, played by Blade, recently got Thunder Fury, and he was telling me that the Thunder Fury proc is really good, which it is, but on paladins it's markedly good. And he was saying it makes up like 15% of his damage when he's tanking now, or I think when he's DPSing it does something as well. Hey Haxer, how's it going? Everyone say hi to Haxer. We have a turtle team. Everyone stop talking about exploits quick. They'll snitch on us. Yeah, it really is good for paladins. I mean, it's good for rogues. It's just a good weapon. I always felt weird because where I was at with... Oh, geez, put that... I wish that weapon did something good, Mona Lisa. If you're... hold on, looking at this item here. The Maul of the Redeemed Crusader. Who is this for? I guess it's... I mean, yeah, that's the only reason to like it, is that it's big. And I'm not lying, my Shaman has it too, because I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. And I had plenty of DKP. I had nothing to spend it on, so I got this. But 1% attack and casting speed, right? So that kind of smacks of enhancement. But it says Redeemed Crusader, so, I mean, that kind of sounds paladin-y. It has a mere 40 for a two-handed, so that kind of seems weird. I don't know who it's for, and I don't know what it's for, but it exists. I'm not saying it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's competing with the likes of weapons, like two-handed weapons, like Corrupted Ashbringer, with weapons like Brimstone Staff and KT Staff. When as an elemental shaman, I look at that and go like, I don't think that's for me, and there's Might of Menethil, right? So if you're an enhancement, you're probably going for Mom. You're not going for that thing. So I guess it kind of falls in this weird, like, no man's land of I don't think anyone really wants it. Like, maybe if you're progressing, but by the time you're done for Horseman, you've probably done the hardest fight. So you should probably be able to do Frostwing. At least hardest in the way that you have to have your guild team, or your raid team organized and listening to directions. If you can handle 4 horsemen, you can probably handle everything else. Exactly. Manalisa said it best here. No one wanted it, so I just grabbed it for transmog for free. Exactly. Yeah, but so Forsaken Kel says it does. Spell Enhance doesn't want Might of Menethil. That's true. Physical Enhance does. However, Spell Enhance wants usually a quicker hitting weapon because the scaling with Flame Tongue doesn't scale up super well. Now, you might just be resting on the damage of that weapon to help out, but you're going to be getting a lot of glancing blows because, again, you're spell enhancement, not enhancement. So it's, again, it's a very awkward piece. And spell enhance can outperform normal enhancement, but it's usually because they're doing, let's be perfectly frank here. Enhancement, any kind of enhancement, doesn't do a lot of DPS. Like, just full stop. So when we're comparing the two, you know, we're comparing a peanut to a slightly bigger peanut as for in the world of DPS. And for a lot of people, the enjoyment they have out of enhancement is from the ability to really help other people's DPS through twisting and the strength of just totems in general. So if you're spell enhancement, you're going to be really hurting for mana, and so you're not going to be able to twist. Now this is a much larger thing. I'm just kind of telling you kind of the thinking that goes behind it. So if you're spell enhancement, you won't be able to twist as much because you're using spells all the time. So if you can't twist, that is an overall DPS loss. Whereas spell enhancement alone can perform better, physical enhancement doesn't have as much reliance on mana and can twist more, and so helps the DPS of the raid more. Yep, Nino, you can do Nightfall, you can have Annihilator, but it's kind of odd because Paladins have that ability that allows them to more easily apply a weapon ability. Paladins end up being the better one of those. So if you need Annihilator, if you need Nightfall, you generally want a Paladin doing it, oddly enough. And Enhancement used to have 2 ranks of Storm Strike, but the team in their beneficence said, Enhancement can't have anything, so took that away from them. Well, they still have 2 ranks, but they had, their 2 ranks of Storm Strike were such that they had separate cooldowns, so you could use more than one Storm Strike to help for weapon procs. Exactly, Forsaken. And Spell Enhance is good for helping Paladins do a lot of damage, because Flame Tongue's really busted. Haxer asks, speaking of 2 versions of Storm Strike, are you looking forward to Class Council 2 for enhancement? I am. I say this many times. I have a very good grasp on Restoration, a very good grasp on Elemental. I've done a lot of spellcasters in my WoW career. I tried to fully wrap my head around what enhancement does. I learned a lot. I never, applied to Class Council as like, hey, I'm an enhancement specialist. So, I let the professionals, the people who really love it and are very passionate about it, work on it. But you know, speaking of Stormstrike, I always thought it was funny because they took away the fact that the 2 ranks of Stormstrike had separate cooldowns. So there's just one cooldown. But what has been leaked is that there are shamans are getting a new Stormstrike-like effect that will have its own separate cooldown, I imagine. So it's like, okay, you can't have 2 Stormstrikes. You can have a Stormstrike and something that's like Stormstrike, but isn't. But I think it's going to work different. And I was always a huge fan of enhancement with Stormstrike. As an elemental shaman, if I was lucky enough to get one of those debuffs, it would help my damage quite a bit. I think there will be some meme builds, Haxer. I know the team, the people, both the community council and the team were keeping an eye out for hybrid builds that could occur. I think if there's one thing I know about any game is that there's going to be unexpected side effects. So as someone who enjoys exploring, I can't wait to find out what those are. You know, when I helped on Elemental, it would be fun because I would look at stuff and go like, how deep in Elemental do I actually need? What else can I get, you know? That was the first thought that came into my mind. And even since then, I'm sure the tree has changed a little bit. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but... You're excited. If Forsaken Kel says they're excited to see what Warrior and Paladin changes are. I think it's quite popular to say Paladins need nerfing in PvP for their unresistible mega stomp ability, the Crusader Strike thing they have. You know, I think in general, and this is someone who's not super well versed on Battlegrounds, but it certainly has made people have to adjust how they approach Paladins in Battlegrounds. And it's had a strong effect on Telebim, I know that, but I don't know how it's all going to work out, how they're going to change it. I'm assuming they are going to change it because it's one of the most frequently requested things, but... Yep, yeah, exactly, Forsaken. Yep, it's true, but Haxer says, you can try to theorycraft internally with a few devs and council members for months, but there will always be something unexpected once hundreds of players... Exactly. It's a theory of numbers. The more people that get to look at something, the more creative personalities you have, the more likely you're going to have something bizarre and different pop out. I will say, though, Forsaken... Even though I agree with you, as far as how strong that mega critting is, Paladins still don't have a lot of way to close distance. Now, they can put a bubble up, but they changed how their bubble works as far as the damage they can output when they have their bubble up, so I think that affected it some. You know, elemental shamans can get those numbers, and they can be at ranged. So, HOF, that's the freedom thing that lets them not be slowed down. Well, just because they're not slowed down doesn't mean you have to say, well, I guess they're not slowed down. I guess I should definitely face them in melee. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of column A, it's a little bit of column B. I think Holy Strike and like that stuff that lets them like mega nuke people with unresistible amounts of damage. Yeah, I think that could get tuned down, but some of it is, well, Paladins, you know, their gameplay is very linear. So unless they're healing, which is a different story, but you know, players do need to learn how to work around that. My winnow said, "Give me Rain of Fire instead of Blizzard, and I will be satisfied." Well, let me tell you a secret, Durgan. Let me teach you a secret. Go into the modding community, ask them where to find the particle effect for Rain of Fire, change it in your client so that when you do Blizzard, it'll look like Rain of Fire, and no one will know the difference, and you'll be happy. It's not like Fire doesn't have good AoE options, they just don't have Rain of Fire. They don't have a long-range channeled spell. Do you know Spellret will exist after class changes? Probably it'll exist. I didn't participate very much in the Paladin discussions because I'm not a Paladin. And I wouldn't have much to share with them. I'm sure it'll exist. Everything's gonna exist, guys. It's not like something's gonna completely vanish. I think some of the more painful or memey things might go away. But well, Raukangren says no, they'll keep crying for buffs and they'll try to find a way. But yeah, that's the thing. People are passionate about their characters. They want their characters to succeed. They want them to perform the way they want them to. I think that's natural. Also, Mulisa, Manalisa, if you're hearing this, can you do something for me? I want to demonstrate something I discovered. And you are the right character to do it. And actually, Blua, you can do it as well. All you need to do is if you have a particle effect, like your mana shield, you see that right now? Just stay still for a second. I'll zoom in. All right. Look how Mana Shield is right now for Mulisa. Now, Mulisa, if you can do me a favor, can you just spin in place in one direction? Trust me. You see how much quicker it spins? Hello, X-Wookie. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Twitch. Now spin the other way. Yeah? So, spinning particle effects are relative, so you can change how quickly they rotate around you based on which way you're spinning. I don't know, I just discovered this, I thought it was cool. There's nothing more to it other than I'm like, huh? Oh, cool, look at that. Yep, see, Durgan knew about it. Wait, Durkan, who is the Dower Hammer clan? I've never heard of them. Is that a new guild? Also, that's a great name. Dower Hammer. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad there's. Is it Dark Iron Dwarves only? Did someone know how I can show nameplates only in combat on Turtle? I think there might be a way. I don't know of it. I normally have nameplates turned off. I'm a filthy tab targeter. Is that true, Hacks? You can rotate spell effects of stuff like Hellfire? I had no idea. It's spelled differently, Forsaken. It's D-O-U-R. Not with the extra E there. Cogitech, I don't know. I would be even in a vacuum, like, if you found me and I was just leaking stuff left and right, I still wouldn't know anything. I don't know what their plans are with Paladin DPS. And that is completely from a lack of interest. I'm pretty thoroughly horde pilled. I don't begrudge anyone their choice of faction, but I don't particularly know much about paladins. What I would love now, I know not everyone here is plays on Telebim. I know a couple people every now and then are lurking, but with the patch, quote unquote, coming soon, we keep hearing that, but right now the Scourge invasion is happening over on Telebim, and I thought it would be really funny, and I know it might be slightly annoying, but it would be really interesting if Nax Ramus opened up for them right when class changes came out, because it would make it wouldn't make it completely different, but it would make a unique and new progression experience through Nax if all their classes performed slightly differently. Now, some classes are going to be more effective than others. I don't think they're going to suddenly make, like, Fury Prot bad, you know? But it would be very interesting. And remember, too, on Telebim, there's no cross-faction raids. So, you know, that is a serious thing that matters. You don't get the Horde rarely gets the benefit of any sort of threat reduction. They have Tranquil Air, but it's not like Salvation. You can't put it on per class. And the Alliance overall generally have a better time with threat and mana sustainability, mostly because of Paladins. But Horde's DPS is usually higher because of Wind Fury. Because of the reliance and uniform meta on melee just being really good. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think I would like it to come out when Nax gets released for Telebim, though. I think it would be a really fascinating interaction. Probably won't happen, but I can imagine them complaining about it. But, you know, I love Telebim. PvPers definitely know how to complain, too. They're just like everyone else, everybody. They're just like everyone else. Oh, I just noticed. I had some bloated fish here. What do they have? Anything good? It was citrine. Another citrine. I don't know, what was that last item? I don't actually know what was it. An aquamarine and some kind of a pearl, I think. Yep. Was it a pearl? That was a jade. All right. No other gems. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to their progression. I'm excited for them. I know they're excited. There was a little hiccup in the Scourge invasion. I think initially, before server reset, I think the NPCs and stuff started coming up for the Scourge invasion. But then when server reset happened, it vanished again. So then they had to put them back in. Hello, Ricky Kings. Oh, I think I've mentioned this. Haxer, if you're still listening, I've mentioned this to Dragonovi, I think? I don't remember when, but I'm pretty sure I did. I think I still have it. It's like a lantern. Yeah, right here. So if anyone did... the NPCs might be up for it still, too. The Autumn Moon Festival NPC should still maybe be in cities near you. To do it, you get this lantern right here, the Lantern of the Autumn Moon, which has limited uses, which is kind of a bummer because it's kind of a cool little toy effect. I'll show everyone. You only get 5 charges on it, but check this out. You just go to water and then you use it. And look, it makes a little candle. Isn't that cool? I really hope they find a way to keep that as like a toy that just has a cooldown, because I think it's a cool effect. If you'd like one, you should go find the quest giver in your capital city. You can get one. The naked gnome in the background is little Karen. Lizzie Babs in chat, of course, who just likes being a little gremlin. I think cinder bracers are permanent now, aren't they? Hold on, I think I have it on this tune. Let me check. I have it on one of my characters. Oops, hello. Oh, nope, they didn't. Okay, good call, good call. Yes. So I have 2 items that I hope one day they will make into a unlimited use toy item with a cooldown. Yeah, I like that, Lizzie Babs. It's where is a little demon gnome? See if you can find it in this picture. Good, good, good. I don't remember who I suggested it to, but it's a fun little toy. As long as there's a cooldown, because like if it didn't, that would be problematic. Ricky King says, "What are the gold farm to make gold?" Kind of depends on what you want to do. Every class has different things they're better or worse at. For some, it's just playing the market. Sometimes it's lashers. Sometimes it's pickpocketing if you're a rogue. There's certain mobs that are very valuable. You could just farm Blasted Lands buffs, reagents, and sell those. There's really not a lack of ideas for gold farming. It's more about what you want to do, what your character would be good at doing, and how ready you are for monotony. You could also literally do farming and just do gardening, if you want. You can do fishing. Fishing's a good farm if you can, you aim just to try to get stone scale. Stone scale's valuable. White scale salmon's valuable. Night fin, also valuable. Nino drops a new farm I've never heard of. Go to Swamp of Sorrows. Drops coordinates 35 to about like 35, 38-ish it looks like. Grind swamp jaguars. If you grind them, it's 150 gold in white gray vendor trash. Enjoy. Yep, there you go. Everyone has a way. For my part, I like changing it up. So, in general, my biggest cost is raid consumables for a bomb swin. So I like to do different farms. Usually for the stuff I need, I'll do lashers to get general herbs. Sometimes I'll just do herbing with Shibiji. I like going to get the elemental reagents for protection potions. So I'll sometimes literally just go there. I learned of a new one too, which I won't divulge how to do it. But Medivh Merlot and Medivh Merlot Blue can be farmed if you're clever. Maybe have a friend helping you. Because, as I've mentioned before, Elemental Shaman really need every mana consumable they can get, so Medivh Merlot Blue gives you mana, I believe. And, let me see if I can show this off here. Nope. Medivh Merlot. Did I spell it wrong? Let me just look for Merlot. So see, like right here, let's see. So they're going for about 2.5 gold a piece. Let me see. Medivh's Merlot. I guess there's none of the melee of the stamina one available in the auction house right now, which is kind of crazy. That means it would be worth a lot of gold if you had some, but it's very valuable. I think you can see it gives 15 int. Very useful if you are a mana-starved caster. But yeah, no, I got the skinny about how to get those Merlots. So, you know, farms, always be willing to ask. You know, you might find some people that have an inside scoop on how to do something. Most people that farm on the server aren't super concerned about competition, but they could be. So don't be rude. But really, Lazy Babs, that's crazy. I had farmed up a fair amount. This week. I sold most of them because I don't really prefer the stamina ones to the int ones for a bomb swing, but yeah, exactly. It's not easy to get though. It is very technical. Yeah, I don't know what the mana sustain is like for warlocks. I know they can life tap, but if they're trying to DPS, they don't want to waste GCDs on life tapping. So I imagine they don't want to run out of mana, so they use mana consumables, but I don't know what their casting regeneration's like. I know they have a lot of stamina on their gear, generally. Lizzie says it's very bad. Ah, I see. So Warlocks and Elemental Shaman aren't so different. We both have threat issues. Well, Johnny One-Ups, that's fine. But you have to realize that if you're going to life tap any amount, you are losing on a time you could be casting. So they would probably avoid it if they can. Gior, it's fine. It's fine if little Karen wants to stalk me. I haven't asked little Karen to stop. Guys, where's little Karen? Where's little Karen? Up, there she is. There she is. There's a little bugger. Look at her. Look at her to go. Hi, Gior. Cal Quinn, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Yeah. Wait, are you dueling each other? Oh wait, no, you had that little effect that, I think there's an item. Blue, what is that item that does that? Do you recall? I've seen it before. I know it's an item that does it. Cause you are very much a warrior. Egan's Blaster, thank you. So, some really exciting stuff. Also, by the way, before I even start on another tangent, I do want to say shout outs to Gior and any of the other RPGMs out there. Last week we had a Telebim fight event. If you haven't seen it, even if you don't like PvP, you should watch some of it just to see how great of a job some of the RPGMs did to decorate that place to look like it was going to be infested by the Scourge soon. It was very fun. And the RPGMs do a lot to make the world feel a lot more immersive and make events a lot more fun. So, as always, shout-outs to them. But speaking of Egan's Blaster, which for some classes is the only thing you can equip in a relic slot for a while before you get your first totem, relic, or librum, I think it is. In the Under the Shell podcast that I recorded, as I understand it, there's going to be dungeon extensions, which I think most people know about. We in the podcast we heard a little bit more about like what's going to go there. One of the cool ones I heard about was there's going to be one of the Scarlet, I think it might be Graveyard It might be Cathedral, I don't know. One of them's going to have a new area where there's a captured Death Knight you have to try to fight, which I think is really cool. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because these dungeon extensions, some of the loot that they're going to have in there is, you know, trying to be balanced around. But one of the goals for the itemization team was to make a item that one of the items that will drop are things that can go in the relic slot, which is great because those lower level dungeons, like, you know, they're fun, but it'd be really great if you're one of those hybrid classes and you don't have anything for that relic slot until later, like a lot later. I think for most classes, the first time you can get a relic slot is like in the early 50s. So I'm really excited to hear about that because that way you don't always have to put Egan's blaster in there and never finish the quest. Okay, so it is Scarlet Graveyard, okay. I mean, most of the times I'm going to Scarlet Graveyard nowadays is just to pick up some grave moss. Yeah, see, Panther says my pally didn't have one till AQ40. Exactly. Like, you're not alone. Relics are, there's definitely new ones, and some of the, like, I know Black Morass has a good one for Resto Shamans. Lower Kara has a really good one for DPS Shamans, Totem of Crackling Thunder. So it's good. Yeah, I'm excited for them too. To see these new dungeon extensions. They're meant to be like, sort of, in some places, unexplored parts of the lore of that area you're in, or extensions of pre-existing quests, which I think is really cool. What's the quest name for Egon's Blaster quest? I don't remember, actually. I don't know if anyone knows. I don't remember it. I remember, like, you have to use it to get spirits in Stratholme, I think. And that's what you use the blaster for. Yep, my Windows got it right. Database search for Egan. Although, I think the other day when I was trying it out, I was looking for something. I think the database was down. I don't know if it's still down, but... Oh, someone had the answer right here. Blua says the Restless Souls, which would make sense because you have Egan's Blaster, so you probably still have the quest. And I'm pretty sure you have, you must have that trinket that's having that other weird particle effect around you. It's one that does like a little bit of damage to you. I know, I've seen, it's an Alliance only quest, and it's a little trinket that's useful for Osirian in AQ20 because damage will knock you out of the whirlwind. So it's used for that. That's how I know about it anyway. I like how I just see people's speech bubbles with no context, and all I saw Durgan say was Harry Potter Detroit. What? Oh, I see. I understand why you said that now. Yes, Zin Malor, that's what it is. It's a cool little trinket. And what was the other really cool thing I learned from that podcast? I mean, I would invite anyone to go listen to it too. Getting to hear from devs is always cool. Like remembering that they're human beings and that they like us are excited about the things they do, the art they create. You know, it's always great to see that. I think I understood through the podcast that there's tier 3.5 is going to be 5 pieces, but one of the pieces is meant to visually look like it goes with the set, but isn't part of the tier set bonus system, I think is one thing I learned. Wait, what deflated? What are you talking about? I can never... I love how I just try to look at chats and I'm always confused. Pipe? Yes, please confuse me further. The deflated Thunder Fury, of course. Yeah, I think everyone's excited for new gear. There's actually like a good amount of new models for weapons, which, I mean, I don't know if it comes across or if people are even fully aware, but making new models for this janky client is very difficult, and it's really exciting to know that there was like Voji gave a bit of a history lesson about the discovery of how they can make new models for the game. And I think that's fascinating, because before then, the best they could do is backport existing models. And it really, creatively, it's going to allow Turtle WoW to do a lot more. Well, I mean, we haven't had Ashbringer confirmed. It's been, like, teased. We don't know if it's the devs messing with us or not. Because one of the screenshots showing the Paladin 3.5 set, the weapon strapped to their back, sure does look like a cleansed Ashbringer. But I guarantee you, if they could troll us, they will. I've heard some people, and I think I might even agree with some people to a certain extent, that maybe not having cleansed Ashbringer be a thing. Just always have it just be out there as like a mystical thing no one can get. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not particularly vested in it, but... Yeah, it would be cool if they made a secret cow level, but, you know, I think that's just a joke, too. I'd love to get my hands on a tome polymorph cow. Ashbringer is in the cow level? Oh, I didn't know. Exactly, Panthers. It's such a good idea to keep gaslighting the paladins that Ashbringer is going to be with the next set. You just haven't seen it yet. I've brought this up a number of times. I really wish Shamans had a the caster variants of Shamans had some kind of a legendary weapon they could use. There is Sulphurus, which is a little underwhelming, but it is cool looking, and it's useful during progression, I know. It's pretty expensive for what you get, but it's just a bummer that you can't... there's no AT-ish version for Shamans. Thunder Fury is a sword, so Shamans can't use that, even though the entire quest is about elemental lords, which you think would involve Shamans, but nah. Really, Gior? Gior, are you gaslighting me, or is that actually true? If there's a new polymorph, I'm super excited about that. And I don't even have a mage that would be doing the raids. I'm just excited. When I've played mages before, I would love gathering all the different versions of polymorph. Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, I don't think there's polymorphs changes you into sentient creatures normally. Not like really intelligent ones. I don't know if there's a rule about it, but... Gior, does it change you into a crow? I would love if it changed someone into a crow. That would be very on theme with Karazhan. No, Gior is Gior. Gior is an RPGM. Who also evidently writes the quests for polymorph tomes. A polymorph duck would be cool. I think there is a duck model floating around that I've seen used. Chicken would be nice. Everyone knows that Nefarian has a number of polymorphs. The spell effect's just called Wild Polymorph, and it can change you into a cow, a giraffe, or a grub, I think. Oh, okay. Sorry, Gior. I didn't know about your shady warrior background. I think, I'm trying to think. So crow would make sense for Kara, but if it wasn't a crow, I think polymorph giraffe it's a funny one. Well, Lizzie Babs, I think that's a rubber ducky. I think polymorph, you do actually have to change into a different creature. Oh, Gior. I'm sorry. Back when I used to play the game. Imagine... Wait, Oh, I don't know about farming Edge Masters. If you're farming Edge Masters right now, I would tell you to go do something else. Because we still don't know exactly how things are going to work out with weapon skill. I say that as someone who... like... was able to take part in those discussions. I don't even remember what the conclusion was. It was so long ago. I don't know who they are, Gior, but they do know your secret. Jeremy McClure, hello, says, "Hey, I'm new to WoW. I just started playing on the server a few days ago. Is there a good place to help with what I should spend my points on?" Yeah. There's Warrior channel in the main Discord. If you have any guildies who are warriors, I would try asking them. There's tons of people you can ask stuff. I'm not a good resource, sadly. But, one thing you can do, try not to be creepy about it, but if you see a warrior who's really well geared, you can, like, here, see, let's pretend I'm you, okay? I'm going to pretend to be, what was his name? Jeremy, right? I'm going to pretend you're Jeremy. And then, oh, look, it's another warrior. And you sneak up behind him, you wait for him to be AFK, then you right-click him, and then you do inspect. And then you can look at their talents. And you can see how they spec themselves. You can do that to get some inspiration. The talent trees aren't vastly different than Classic WoW, so you can even look up Classic WoW guides on how to spec. And it also depends on, like, are you going to be tanking? Are you just trying to do DPS? So, you know, that's up to you. Yep, yeah, see, Panther's got it, exactly. I think it's going to be interesting because slowly over time, as the team begins to make this version of WoW more their own, some of those guides are going to be less and less applicable, which is good, I think, ultimately, because it's going to require the community to rely on itself. Jeremy McClure said, "Okay, thanks. How did you know I'm playing a warrior?" Wait, did I just guess that? Let me check. What did you actually write? I'm trying to find... What did you first write? You said, "Hi, I'm new to WoW. I started playing on the server a few days ago." I actually don't know how. That was literally a guess. I think. Oh my god. Actually, sorry, I have the gift. I am not only a fisher orc, I'm also psychic. I guess it's my job to know things. Sorry, how did I know? Holy crap. That's actually kind of messing with me now. How did I know? What the? I mean, it was a good guess, right? There's lots of warriors, but oh no. You guys are not. You're not gonna believe what's gonna happen in Kara. I guess my. Yeah, like, I'm gonna watch it. I swear, I'm gonna watch the VOD back later. I want to see if someone, like, gave me a clue or something. Because I don't think you're here. And if you were, you would have let me know. But I think I was looking at... My clue was that I was looking at Blua, who is a warrior. Who does not look like a warrior right now. But they have a brown name for me, so I know they're a warrior. Warriors are BIS for transmog. Because they can equip the most varied items. They can wear plate to cloth, and they can wear the most different types of weapons. There's only a couple they can't do. I think it's like wands. I think wands is the one they can't do. There might be another one they can't do. I'm forgetting, but... warriors will always have that advantage in T-Mog. But every new tier of armor you get does open up a whole new world of transmog. It's fun. Yeah, it might be controversial, guys, but warriors are really good. I don't know if anyone ever said that, but they're really good. They're very difficult at first, but they scale the best with gear improvements, I think. Warriors aren't OP, but I think... I mean, I don't know if I agree with that fully, but I will say that they offer a really good metric for if your DPS goes over this, something went wrong, probably. Exactly, Haxer. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, Haxer, even though you're joking around when you say, how can they be really good when they're getting nerfed constantly, right? Well, here's the thing. When you have a very good class, any change... I mean, if you're that good, it's probably a nerf, because you're already really good. I know Arms has gotten some love, right? And that was in the first class change. They can stay competitive with their Fury counterparts. Fury Prot's still really good. And there's some Prot specs that just are amazing at mitigating damage. Your threat's gonna maybe take a hit, but... Oh, Panthers, I don't know what raid tier you're in, but if warriors aren't the top DPS, you might have a shaman shortage first, or you're not at a point in progression where warriors really start popping off, because at the top end, warriors perform very well. You can definitely find places where maybe another class beats them, but yeah. Ignite is very strong too. That's true. Okay. Now, I don't know what to tell you, Panthers. Maybe you have really good non-warrior DPS. Or maybe your warriors aren't that good. I don't know. There is one fight where elemental shamans should always be the top DPS. I wonder if anyone knows what fight this is. Does anyone know the fight where elemental shaman are always top DPS, or if they perform decently, they should be top DPS? If all the gear is the same, does anyone know what fight it is? It's not Thaddeus. They definitely beat fire mages. Regularly beat fire mages. It's not Lotheb. Lotheb's really tough on shamans because they need mana and it's a long fight. So the answer, and this is purely just what I've seen in my logs. Oh, thank you, a random white guy 9 for, thank you for the Prime. I think, yes, Prime, thank you, appreciate that. The fight is Battle Guard Satura in AQ40. The reason elemental shamans perform very well there is it's a boss fight that has multiple targets that aren't like above 15, you know? Your chain lightning does very well there because it hits multiple targets, but it doesn't get scaled out by AoE just beating everything. So a hard pumping elemental shaman should and probably will out DPS any of your other casters, and warriors have to worry about dying constantly. Other casters do too, but as an elemental shaman, you have the most armor. Maybe a boomkin might beat you, but you can usually live a couple clips. And yeah, that's the fight where elemental shaman are the strongest. That's it. That's the one we got. I think the last time I did AQ40, I wasn't even flasked with my elemental shaman, but I got over 800 DPS on that fight. Now, Alonsoman is pretty pissed out, but yeah, and Ignite is weird, the way it shows up on logs. Logging is going to continue to be sort of a misleading thing. One thing that I know, I bring it up occasionally, but there's been some changes in this space thanks to Super WoW, if you have that. Logging stuff like fire totems is really tough to do, but Super WoW lets you do it. So some things are hard to log correctly. But Ignite, back in Classic, Ignite damage used to be divided and spread equally among the mages to get a better scope on who the owner mage of the Ignite was. But if you get a critical mass of mages, Ignite damage does really pop off. Panther says, my guild really only has 2 dedicated DPS warriors as well, to be fair. Okay, well that might explain some stuff, why you don't have many warriors topping the meters. Lizzie Bab says, I can't wait for Ignite to be nerfed to the ground and Warlocks to be number 1. How sure are you going to be number 1? What if a Boomkin takes it or Elemental Shaman takes number 1? What then? Yeah, just because we do stuff without curses. Oh, so you have an arms warrior. Okay. Armor debuffs make a big difference for warriors too, so that could be part of it. Because they might have to spend more time getting Sunders up. I love Boomkins. Boomkins are great. Anything but a mage and I'm happy. Alright, you heard it here first. So when Boomkins are top DPS, Lizzie Babs will have to smile through the tears. Oh yeah, Panthers. If your druids aren't putting up fairy fire, you don't have as soon as possible 5 stacks of Sunders. You should also maybe have rogues putting up improved exposed armor. An Annihilator can make a big difference, because armor is really what lessens melee and hunter damage. Haxer, I don't want that world. Haxer says, imagine if both Elemental and Enhancement were top DPS spec. Yeah, there wouldn't be a totem shortage, but there would be a lot of hate from the community. I don't want to be the next pariah class like Paladins are. I'll tell you one thing though. If Shamans do suddenly become the top DPS somehow, it will lessen the accusations of alliance bias from the team. It would go a long way in that respect. All right. All right. We've been, now look at this. This is all I've caught. I haven't caught a single valuable fish. Get your last casts in. We're gonna go for a little explore. There's an island out off the coast here that I wanted to go swim out to, check out what's over there. So get on some battle gear. No, I have to take... I always forget about this. Alright. That looks better. What's my... Where's my patch tank set? Is it this one? Maybe it's this one? Well, no. We'll just do Sword of the Abyss. I don't know where my patch tank set went. Oh, there it is. Yeah. That's what we like. We like a mostly naked Vrograg. I'll get on some swim gear. There will be some swimming, everyone. There will be some swimming. Do I have? Yeah. Yep, my main hand's Thunder Fury, my offhand's Maladath for the parry. And yeah, we're gonna swim out to this island here. I'm gonna kill any of these bad Nagas too. So Lizzie Babs, I can explain Super WoW a little bit. It's a DLL file that allows the client to do things it can't normally do. I think is the simplest way you can put it. And your antivirus will be very upset if you try to put it in. As it's often how other bad things are put into computer systems. I'm gonna get this clam whelm down here too. Do I have the... Yeah, I do have the... Alright, now I can swim underwater. I really hope that there are more underwater areas to explore in the game. I love stuff like this. Yep, that's a good way of putting it too, Haxer. Hacks the client to add extra stuff in, that's why antivirus tags it, yeah. Oh, Peanut Arbuckle. I'm glad you're enjoying Turtle WoW. It's a good community. It's a fun game. Where's my... I'm using Hemo right now. There it is. Wow, look at this. There's like sunken ships and stuff down here. And there's more ruins. I do swim quicker than the normal orc because I got some swim speed items on. I could technically go faster, but that's not me right now. Oh wait, how far down does this... Whoa. Yeah, we're out there. Yeah, we need more secret underwater cave areas. I love going spelunking, but I gotta be honest, the cave system that's in vanilla WoW is... There's like 5 or 6 different models for what caves can be, and that's it. But man, we could use some underwater caves. Could you imagine just like an entrance to a cave down there? I love exploring and finding weird stuff. We have another little courtyard from the old Elven ruins here. Also, if you're over these will give you more water, more air if you need it. Now, I think that's... Did I come up from there? Like, look at this too. Like, there's like a land bridge that goes between these two places. It's like you could walk in these areas. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, yes, Lizzie Babs, exactly. Cave with fishing secrets. Sign me up for that. And we already have one. We have that cave in Hyjal that has the barkskin fisher who drops the barkskin fishing rod. Oh, by the way, I wanted to shout out. You can see right here, friend of mine, Valian, installed a Eternium line on my fishing rod, which gives me additional fishing. Thank you to him. He actually's done the fishing derby, so I normally can't make it because of the time. Why can't I pickpocket you? Hello? Oh, there it is. Alright, here we are on the island. What do we got here? More Nagas. There's a statue over here too. Oh, okay. Oh, is it tough to get over there? Oh, that can't be the only way up, is it? Nope, there's a chest here too. Is that? Yeah, I think that is the only way up. Look at that. Maybe I could do some corner jumping here. Maybe. We'll check it out. Nope. You can tell when a corner wants you to jump up it, obviously. I could put down a mailbox. Maybe that will help. Wait, how did you get up there, Mona Lisa? Did you actually jump from this? Was this all it took? I don't think I could do this. You did that from the goblin, no way, really? That looks like a tough jump. On a mount? Okay, well, I'll see if I can. All right, this might work a little better. You did it first try? Man, I wish I could be that good at in-game parkour. Oh, I had it for a second. No, I didn't jump. I guess you gotta jump. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really let you jump. That's the problem. Oh, first try, everyone saw it. Look at them, wish they could be up here. I guess there wasn't much on this island. I was actually expecting a little bit more. No, that's fine. First try, yeah, exactly. I'll let some of you guys have another couple tries at it. After this, though, we can swim north up the coast, and maybe we could visit Amani Allure, which should be, I think, up the coast a little bit. Well, I know I like when there's interesting stuff on an island, right? I like seeing what's around. You know? Oh, geez. I maybe can't get back up. Okay, here it is. Oh, neat. I think this model is used in other places, but not very frequently. What's going on here? I have to go regulate. Get out of there, you little scamp. Oh, there is the statue. Requires Gem of the Serpent, huh? I don't have that. Maybe this guy wants some help. Mulisa, I do, if you need one. Just come over to me, I'll drop one. I don't think Blyeye is with us, but I think they are benefiting from us. If you need the mailbox, there's still one over there. I'm gonna salute them. Oh wait, am I doing salute? Salute. I don't know where they went. All right, we're gonna be swimming north. We've checked out the island. Yeah, we're gonna just swim up along the coast, see if there's anything interesting to see. We'll stop over at Amani Allure, which I think is north of here. Oh, that's why, you scoundrel. Yep, Tauren. Shamans can do this. Plain striding and water walking makes them the quickest water beings. Now, if they take any amount of damage, it ends. But it's better than nothing. Literally, this is why I made a Tauren Shaman, by the way. It wasn't for Spirit Link, it was for this. It's nice, too. There's I don't think there is fatigue water anymore on the server. I know there used to be once upon a time, but it's not here now. Alright, where are we on the world map? Alright. So over here, behind these mountains, is where Stone Talon Mountains are. Little Karen's catching up. What do you got here? So you got a healing set. You look a lot like my character's healing set. Yeah, you could use a better totem, maybe. You can maybe get the Warmth of Forgiveness, which is, I guess, better than this. That's good. That's very good. I don't have this. You have... Do you have... You don't have 5 of 5. All right, so you have Earth Shatterer and you're scattering in some 2.5, it looks like. Yeah, tier 3 is really good for shamans. Yeah, I know. I'll stop soon. I'll let them have a break. We'll take a break here. Let people catch up. Also, maybe check out these hills. I don't think there's anything secret here, but there's only one way to find secrets, everyone, and that's to look. Also, thanks to the unique texturing of Turtle WoW, I can do things like this. I can hide in the brush. Go first person. Can we see under the land? Oh, and we can. Nice, lovely. Oh, geez. That's not what I want on my camera. Get out here, little Karen. You little scamp. Yep, another terrain feature right here. And they got little canyons here every now and then. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, if you are slow, sometimes you can kind of ride on the coast. So if you're on your turtle, that can actually help your speed a little bit, but you can't always make landfall. What is it to do first person? Yeah, there it is. Oh, there is? Really? Well, I'll keep an eye out for it, Haxer. I like finding Easter eggs. That's another great thing about this server and the team. They encourage exploring. And that's one of my favorite things about open worlds, you know, just taking a look around, seeing what you can see. Oh, it's lovely up here. I don't think there's any spots we can climb over there. Oh, tried to make the jump, didn't work. Wait, what is? Wait, there's a dock over here. Wait, do you guys see that? What the heck? What is this? Huh? No way. This isn't anything on my map. Oh, wait, no. Oh, this is the other side. Okay, careful. Maybe Alliance people? These might be Horde NPCs. Yeah, this is the other end of Powder Town, I think. Maybe? Yeah, because there's a path cutting through there. No, these are Venture Co. Yeah, so they can go away. Okay. So this must go deeper in, right? Oh, right. So this is the path that cuts out. Okay. I thought we had discovered something really strange. I'm like, no way. All right. Well, this is where the end of the Powder Town is. I still have yet to do Powder Town while leveling. I've been meaning to do it. I just keep not doing it. I keep forgetting it exists until it's too late. At least we know how Venture Co got into Stone Town. They have that dock they can use. I don't think there's any way over this. Nope. Nope, nothing over there. Alright, we're back in the Veiled Sea, everyone. The game thinks we're in Astronar, which is interesting. Is that on the map too? Hold on. Yeah, Amani Allure should be coming up on our right soon. As always, I'll check every little inlet I can get up into. Oh, I know, Haxer. Like, a lot of people forget how annoying that was. Like, when it's gone, everyone's like, this feels right, you know? But I couldn't imagine having to do that all the time. Yeah, you don't get dismounted when you go into the water. Instead, you get to see really funny animations from some of the mounts. If you have like a dragon or something, they'll do their flying animation, which is kind of cool. Oh, yeah. I don't think we can get to that. I'll try, though. Fortunately, I'm a rogue, so I can take some falls, but... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can. Oh, maybe I can. Nah, that's too far up. I can't get up and over, sadly. Ooh, a little high. Okay. Ooh, maybe something here. Nope. Nope, I'm seeing a lot of the world, though. I can't jump up this. Gotta be careful. One of these days I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna fall through the world. It's not a good time. I just saw Mona Lisa go over this. Why can't I? Oh, there it is. There it is. No easy way up that. Or maybe there... it looks like you could. can't get a jump. No. Oh well. Well then, how come I can blink and fall through Ogremar all the time? Oh, hold on. I have to ban someone. Ban. I feel weird not having one of these engineering mounts now, I guess. Oh, is that true? How can a player distinguish between a WMO and plain terrain like what we're seeing? Maybe it's because WMOs are built on top of plain terrain, because I've never fallen out of the world in Ogremar. I just fall out of Ogremar and into another area underneath Ogremar. Oh, look at this mountain range. Ooh, we got some forest up there. I think we're getting closer to Amani Allure again. Oh, I see. Okay, I got you. So it's like the base of where the world is, so you can't pierce it because it's where the game allows you to be. Ooh, there's a... Oh, wait, I think this is, who's that? What's going on here? Someone left a votive candle here. Wait, why is there a dock here? Is this Amani Allure? I actually don't know. Oh, it should be because we have the Amani Eagle here. Caw-caw! Everyone, get a picture by the eagle. The eagle that got very lost. Or kill it. Or savagely kill it. That's... Who did that? Karen! You monster. You could click it to kill it. We could take a picture by the dead eagle, I guess. Trying to get a good shot. I'll make sure everyone knows Karen was the one who did it. Just another day in Turtle WoW. Okay, I got a screenshot of the violent crime. Also, why is there a dock here though? That's kind of my question. It's like they wanted a boat and they're like, you know what? Nah. I thought this was actually a way to get up and into Amani Allure. We should be close if there's a dock there. Yeah, I think it's just like right over there. You can almost see some of the troll stuff. Let me see if yeah, see, Amani Allure. Amani Allure is like here? Okay, look, I can see where we are. Okay, yeah. I don't think we can get up to Amani Allure. There's a way down, but there isn't a way up. Evidently. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't connect this to the dock, like... Right? Maybe they'll do something with it in the patch, but yeah, there's the path. So right up there is where Amani Allure is. And if you're exploring, you can fall down here and you'll find a dock with a little votive candle. That is true, Haxer. And yet, Haxer, it stayed so much the same, hasn't it? It was added back when they added that initial High Elf area. Actually, the High Elf area is still there too, I think. I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is an Alliance bias remark. All I'm saying is Amani Allure was added a long time ago and has not seen any changes. That's all I'll say about it. I love the devs, though. I like to give them a hard time about Alliance bias, though. Actually, I'm really excited about that too, Levy. I think there's going to be some really cool stuff. I know Baylor is going to be in there. Oh, so Haxer, you did listen to the podcast, I see. Yep. Let that be a lesson to you. To everyone. First, you get the trust of the team, and then you badger them and question them incessantly until they give you a teaser. It worked for me. I mean, I knew that they were going to be rolling out with Azulamon. That was known. So I don't think that was a spoiler, necessarily. They did, I think Voji talked about Silvermoon a little bit, or not Silvermoon. What is the ruins up there? The Elf Ruins? That has a name. But talked about that. Pally bias. We'll see what happens. All right. I need to get to my Theldaros or something. Yeah, that sounds like it. All the elf towns sound the same. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. I have to help Murog start building her new computer, so I'll have fun doing that. Make sure you check out the podcast though. Evidently, I badgered Voji to give live on air, and then got him to give up secrets. I know some of the history. I'm not a huge lore nerd like Dan from the radio is, but thank you everyone for dropping by. Haxer, thank you as well. Specifically, I love having team members pop in to say hello. Gior too, if you're still out there listening. Thank you to people who came out to fish. I'm sorry, the fishing wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was a bunch of these trash fish, but you know, we had a good time. It's not about the fish you catch. I need to stop the fishing to see who's today's winner. Of course, I get the cue. All right, there it is. We are going to delete this. Can I just save and close? And then I do exclamation point leaderboard. And we'll take a bigger look. Looked like Johnny One-Ups was today's winner. Love to see that. There's everyone else who has technically either been in chat or... There were... Oh, wow, you won with... Wow, look at that. The best catch was not actually... some of these things are... There wasn't any crazy big catches today. Grats to Johnny One-Ups. I'm pretty sure you're already a VIP, but grats to you. Let me turn that off. All right. Okay. So that's it for now. Expect another Turtle Wow News radio program this next week. I don't think I have any videos that I particularly want to cook up, but the news, I'll probably be talking about some of the stuff that was said in the podcast, so check that out if you're looking for new information. Why is this here? How did I... Oh, okay, I know what that is. All right. So everybody take care of yourself until next time. Be safe. Keep in mind that when you play video games, the idea is always to have fun. And as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.